Should you pay your mortgage off early in Japan? Now, that's going to be a different answer for everyone, but for most people, probably not. Let's talk about it. So the decision to make extra payments on your mortgage, or maybe even pay it off entirely before you have to, is a very personal one. It's going to depend on your situation, how much you're paying, what the interest rate is, how you feel about debt, all these different things. But for most people, it might not make sense to do that. And there's a few reasons. So the first reason is that interest rates in Japan are so low that keeping the mortgage and doing something else with the money might make sense for a lot of people. Fixed rate mortgages in Japan are around 1%. Floating rate mortgages are under 0.5%. I've seen as low as 0.3%. If you're only paying 0.3% on your mortgage, instead of making extra payments to the bank, you could keep the mortgage, keep paying that low interest rate, and maybe invest the extra money, possibly in a NISA account, and you're likely to get a much higher return. Leveraging the difference between the very low interest rate you're paying on the mortgage and the potentially much higher rates you could get from investing means that for many people, at the end of the day, 20, 30 years down the line, they're likely to end up with a lot more money if they invest rather than paying the mortgage down. Now, a second reason not to pay your mortgage off early is flexibility. Once you give the money to the bank, that's it, it's gone, they're not going to give it back to you. So there is a situation where you could make early payments on your mortgage, pay down your mortgage, and then run into financial difficulties to the point where you are having trouble paying your mortgage. The bank's not going to give you credit for those extra payments. They're still going to expect their monthly repayment. And if you had kept the money and maybe invested it in a NISA account, you'd still have access to it. You could use that money to help with your living expenses. You could use it to pay your regular mortgage payments. And that flexibility, I think, is worth thinking about. A third reason is the mortgage tax break. So in Japan, if you have a mortgage, as long as you meet certain conditions for the first 13 years or so, you get a really substantial tax break based on the outstanding amount of the mortgage. Now, if you pay the mortgage down early, there'll be less money outstanding, so your tax break will be reduced. That doesn't make any sense. So even if you absolutely hate the idea of being in debt and you want to get rid of the mortgage as soon as possible, at least wait until that tax break finishes. If you want to, you could even save up the money that you're going to use to pay off the mortgage just until the end of the tax break, and then you can do it as a lump sum. And the fourth reason not to pay your mortgage early is life insurance. So in Japan, most mortgages come with compulsory life insurance. If anything happens to you, if you die, in a lot of cases, if you become seriously ill, the mortgage is paid off by the insurance. Now, if you've been paying your mortgage down and you die, then your family will get the home. But if you hadn't been paying it down, and if you'd been investing instead and you died, then your family would get the home free and clear because the life insurance has paid off the mortgage, and they'd also get the investments that you'd been making. So they'd be much better off in that situation. So 4 reasons why you might want to reconsider paying your mortgage off early, and only 1 reason to do so. But that reason might be the most important one of all: how you feel about it. After all, personal finance is personal, and we're not trying to optimize our life for the best financial outcome. We're just trying to make sure that we're happy and we're enjoying ourselves and we are comfortable. So if having a mortgage is stressful for you, if you just want to get rid of it, then go ahead. I don't think it makes much sense, but if that is something that's going to make you happier, then go ahead and do it, because life's too short to be stressing about money. What do you think? Would you consider paying off your mortgage early in Japan, or have I convinced you not to? Please leave your answer in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.